With Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
We're having a daily dish today. Like it or not. So come on down. Let's have a Tuesday transformational tip. Shall we do it? I think we should. First of all, a couple of announcements. You know that, right? Hey, Carol, I'm glad to see you. And by the way, cheers. Here's to all of you who are breaking your fast with your hot melt mix. I've got mine right here on my desk. Just bring my water bottle and I'm good to go. Isn't that just so helpful? Jeanette's here, Martha's here, Joanne's here, Jocelyn's here. We're getting ready to have a party, people. I'm telling you, we're getting ready. Carol, hello. Anyway, so that's exciting. The sprint webinar was last night. Who was there? Pinkies up. Listen, you want to be there for the sprint webinar. You want to go watch it again. That's all I'm going to say, because we are all in and we start on Monday. savingdinner.com/sprint. Go watch it. And speaking of webinars, on Thursday is our autoimmune webinar. I'm really excited about this one. savingdinner.com/autoimmune, my friend. You don't want to miss this one. This one has got me welling up with a few tears. And as a matter of fact, we just had, Amber just edited my video, which you will be able to see on TikTok, and you'll be able to see the moment when I am pronounced clear of all nodules. I have to say, this is one of the most incredible moments of my life. You know, I worked hard to go into remission. So you got to watch that. Hey, Flynn, Lucy, I'm so glad you're here. Angie, you too. Gosh, it's nice to have you along. Anyway, so it is sprint week, not next week, but the week after, because next Monday, you know what it is, right? It's Memorial Day weekend. So we're going to be partying. I don't know about you, but I have margaritas in mind. Probably some barbecue chicken, a few other things. So no. But the following Monday, June 4th, I think it is, or 6th, I don't know, right around there is when we start. But the webinar is important because it gets you geared up. It gets you understanding exactly what to do. Rebecca, Jennifer in the house. Good to have you here. So check that out if you will. Also Q&A, it's on Friday, y'all. Yay! Send your questions in. And also look on Saving Dinner right here on Facebook. Look there for the question. We have a question pinned at the top, so you can put your questions there. We'll take it that way. You can send it in to support@savingdinner.com, question for Leanne on Friday, or you can just do it on one of our social media outlets. Say, hey, I've got a question. I'll answer it. That's a promise. Is it time for swimming in the lake yet? Ask Lincoln swims in the lake every day. So he was in there today. Again, of course he was. Yesterday we didn't go for our walk, and I'll tell you what, I think I missed it more than he did. It was raining all day long. But, you know, that's just life in the fast lane. Do not forget that our organic AC, no, that's mine, sorry. Our Sleepies. Sleepies is the supplement of the week. You can find it at savingdinner.com/show. I love this. It's a well-rounded supplement for sleep, because there's a lot of different ways and a lot of different reasons why we can't sleep or we find ourselves waking up in the middle of the night. So I want you to check this out. Go to savingdinner.com/show. If you buy 3, you get 1 for free. Hey, Chris, I'm glad you're here. And there's Carla, all the way from Kentucky. What? Carla, are you coming? Would not be a big deal for you to drive over here for our full bloom. That's happening July 29th, 30th, and 31st. It is. And I will tell you that once you land here, once you are here, your food is all taken care of. It is going to be a magnificent time. Speaking of swimming in the lake, speaking of the boat, speaking of all of it, go get the details at savingdinner.com/bloom. You will also be able to do it virtually. Seriously, virtually. At least July 30th, which is the all-day Saturday event, you will be able to do it. But you'll miss out on the booze cruise, on the the floating boat. You'll miss out on the brunch. There's all kinds of stuff happening. Go check it out. savingdinner.com/bloom. Doris, you can come all the way from Texas. Anne, I'm glad you're here. Gracie, hello. Nice to have you. So that's what I know about all of that. And don't forget, too, a text message. Hold up your phone. I can't because I'm getting ready to go live on TikTok for the first time. Listen, it's easy. Just pull your phone up, pull up the message application, super simple. Text the word join to this phone number, 855-960-3720. And then when we ping you back, say yes. And remember, join and yes is all in caps. That makes everybody happy. Hey, Sue, happy terrific Tuesday to you. And then don't forget, we always have things going on. If you missed any of our announcements, you can find them at savingdinner.com/announcements. Isn't that nice of us? I think so. Anyway, let's get on with the show here. And you guys ready? By the way, they've got filters on TikTok, and I look about 40 on TikTok because I enhanced. All right. 3, 2, 1. We're live on TikTok. Welcome, everybody. This is my first time live on TikTok. I am also live on Facebook and on YouTube. So you're welcome to my show. And if you're here and enjoying it, share it. That's all I have to say about that. Well, today we're going to be talking about, we talked about this or that. Remember that? This or that, and the difference and the contrasts that we see. And of course, yesterday we talked about that in great big broad brush terms. Today we're going to get a little bit more specific. Have you ever heard of the term generavity? Generavity is the ability to love beyond your own backyard. That simple. It's having a concern for future generations and making the world a better place. Remember that commercial, that Coke commercial? I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Do you remember that one? Anybody? That's kind of where my mind is where that we finally get together, where we put everything together and we start loving each other up the way we should. Do you think that's an important thing? Well, studies have found that people who possessed generavity live way happier lives than those that don't. And not only that, but psychologists also say the very exact same thing. And you want to know why? I'm going to tell you exactly why. Something shockingly simple as having concern for others and helping others along. Do you know why that is? I'm going to tell you. It's because a researcher named Don McAdams, he also wrote a book called The Redemptive Self, studied these folks, and guess what he found? There's a great big huge difference between people with generativity and people who don't have it. And this is it. It's the story they tell themselves about themselves and their lives. That's a big thing. Now, hold on. I'm going to unpack that a little bit because it's important. So you have to understand, too, the study that he did had enormous amounts of people in it. As a matter of fact, he had people from all different professions in life, races, rich, poor, middle of the road incomes, all ages, everything. And they all had different stories to tell about their lives. But there was a plumb line on all of them. And this is where it gets interesting. First, they thought that life was wonderful. Okay, that's cool. But second, something bad happened to them. They all had something bad happen to them. We call it the contamination story, and it messed everything up. But guess what? Rather than play this over and over in their heads of poor me, what a horrible life I lead, oh my gosh, it's so tragic, they created a redemptive story out of it. Redemption, that's a big deal. So I like to say, it's the Beauty from Ashes story. The Beauty from Ashes story. You've got me on stereo. Sue has me on stereo. So we need to look at the contrast of this. This is the critical issue. This is the important part because we have the ability to do this ourselves, right? We have the ability to do it ourselves. So, in other words, they saw this as a valuable lesson instead of a crippling tragedy. And that's the difference. There's value in pain when there's a lesson to be learned. They could have just said they were dealt a bad hand, they had bad luck. They could have said that life sucked. But instead, what they saw was better and stronger because of it. They came out the other side better. Instead of being trapped in trauma, they end up having a post-traumatic growth spurt. Who does that? Well, people with this particular thing. Instead of being trapped, they found themselves growing. So they tested this generativity with a group of heart attack patients. This is where it gets really interesting because, there's psychological trauma, of course, but then there's also, this is what happens to you when you have a heart attack. So they checked these guys out, and they found that these people who possess this generativity were significantly better cardiac health-wise than those that did not, and way less likely to have a subsequent heart attack. Did you know that? I did not know that. So The Search for Meaning, then, you remember that book by Viktor Frankl, a fabulous book? The search for meaning is how people survive the unthinkable and come out better on the other side. It's like looking for a daisy growing through the cement blocks. That's what it is. So here's some common denominators I've got for you. And we can all take this to the bank. And by the way, you can get these show notes at savingdinner.com. It's easy. Just sign up for our newsletter, and we send today's show notes in tomorrow morning's newsletter. So if you want these notes. Number 1 is I am blessed. I am blessed. Feeling like you're here on purpose and for purpose creates a new focus, and it creates appreciation. That's amazing. And number 2 is recognizing the suffering of others. Talk about empathy, right? You see yourself as being here on purpose and for purpose, but you also recognize every other person that you meet on this planet is also here on purpose and for purpose, and here to be loved and to love just like you. Imagine that. Number 3 is moral fortitude. You believe in doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I mean, that seems so simple, but honestly, there's a few people out there that just don't possess this quality. And number 4 is looking at a big setback, even if it is still bothering you, and doing a director's cut. Have you seen that? A director's cut is when they take a movie and they drill it down to the highlights, the thing that you want, even a highlight reel kind of a thing. We get the opportunity to do that. And understand that when you do a director's cut, it's not that you're giving yourself a false narrative. It's that you're choosing to focus on the things that are going to be redemptive to your spirit because you're important. And this helps you to become stronger because of all of it. Sometimes we need to do that. And number 5 is the balance of power and love. I love this so much. You believe, yes, you can make a difference, and yes, you can help other people along the way. The eye-popping truth is that as you help others, you help yourself. Isn't that amazing? I love that. And we heard that story. We have our friend Tanya who told the story of how getting rid of the bigger clothes that when she lost that 130 pounds, it was a hard thing for her to do. But then she recognized that she was going to be helping somebody else who needed these. And it was a redemptive story then, because as she gave them away, she was free of them at last. And it kind of put a period at the end of her transformation. And it also went into service to go help others. And that's so critically important. And number 6 is that the future is bright and shiny. Always. The future is bright and shiny. And that's because a wise woman has goals. You know that. And has something to work on and has something to work toward. So what are you going to do with your story is really the bottom line. What are you going to do with your story? Is it going to be a tragic tale or a story of redemption? That's the thing that we need to look at. I say we can make stories of redemption when we make a decision about our lives and we make a decision that we're going to move forward regardless. We can't go back in time and fix what happened, but we can go forward in time and choose to do a director's cut of our life if we need to. I don't know about you, but I need that as big time. Don't forget, if you need any of the announcements that I did at the very top of the show, they're at savingdinner.com/announcements. Until then, I will see you on Thursday night for the autoimmune webinar. I sure hope so. Don't forget, savingdinner.com/autoimmune to go get your seat. It's free. Peace be with you. I appreciate you being here. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.